The Globe's 2013 Capital Markets Conference is bringing together some of the financial leaders in Israel from both the private and public sector to discuss Israel's economic future. It was Finance Minister Yair Lapid's first public appearance since the announcement of the cutbacks in the upcoming budget, which are going to hit hard the middle class of Israelis. Lapid, who ran to the Knesset on the ticket of the defender of the middle class, has come under harsh criticism for his financial plans.
It's always the right thing to do the right thing. I'm doing the right things now for the country, and whenever I get an opportunity to choose between myself and the good of the country, I'm going to do whatever is good for the country. So, and you know what, if this will harm me politically, then this will harm me politically. I can live with that. I don't know if they're criticizing me or they're criticizing the situation. We are stuck in a bit of a hole now, but fortunately, this is one of those things, that's one of those bumps that we can get out from in a short time. So people are criticizing me now because nobody likes it when you raise taxes, and they will be happy about living in a stable economy when we get out of it. So I'm not really worried about it. Maybe I should be, but I'm not really worried.
Lapid spoke out recently about his vision of the peace process in a New York Times interview, and we wanted to clarify what his exact views are.
Everybody knows that I think the two-state solution is the only real solution on the table, and we should do some progress about this. We should go back to the negotiation table with the Palestinians and make sure that the discourse is back to some sort of the beginning. Harmony would be an exaggerated word, but a beginning of a negotiation is a necessity. I hope the Secretary Kerry will come here and will help the both sides to sit on the same table, and we're looking forward for his visit.
Global conglomerate Dun & Bradstreet has been providing business information for over 170 years, and the Israeli branch's CEO says the country has to act and act fast before the situation gets out of control.
I think that we may face a very bad economic situation if we don't look after the budget. We have to close the deficit in the budget. Being a risk manager, closing a deficit in the budget is #1 target of anybody. Before you look at growth, before you look at prosperity, first of all, make sure you have enough money to cover your debt, that your personal cover ratio is positive. If you don't do that, you may run into heavier risks and everything will go out of control.
Local supermarkets giant Rami Levy claims the government is making a fundamental mistake in all its dealings. It completely fails to see whom they're supposed to serve.
We see the bureaucracy here in Israel every day. The public sector doesn't take into consideration the citizens. They don't think about their customers. That's why they allow themselves to behave with such a deficit. And where does this deficit come from? They conduct themselves not like a profitable business. They behave in a manner that when they feel a little bit constrained and want to develop the economy, they go and raise taxes from citizens. And in the long run, they ruin more than they build. My philosophy is that the customer is the most important factor. This is who I serve. This is the foundation of all my business, the customer. And I personally live off my customers. So it's crucial to make them feel like they're getting value for their money.
It seems although the finance minister came under fire for his budgetary cuts and tax increases, at least the audience here at the conference of around 500 financial leaders were won over by Lapid's explanation of why he did what he had to do. For JN1, I'm Ron Jacobson at the Globe's Capital Markets Conference in Tel Aviv.